Hello and welcome back to HD Racing and welcome back to the Quick Look series, where we endeavor to take a look at every single car in the Forza GT series for multiplayer. You really seem to have liked the first episode on the Lamborghini Essenza, and you also had some valid criticism and feedback on how I could improve the series, so I'm definitely trying to get to some of that for this and the following episodes. For the second episode, as you can already see, we are taking a look at the elephant in the room. The 2018 Audi R8 LMS GT3. And it's the elephant in the room because a lot of people feel this car is just too strong. Is it? Well, we're gonna find out. And we're gonna find out at this race on Laguna Seca, where I'm starting in pole position and already off to a great start. And it's definitely one of the strengths of this car. It is quick off the line. I'm not sure if there's a car that's faster there. Might be, I definitely will try to find that out, but it's definitely very fast and I'm already pulling away from the guys behind. We're gonna take a look at this race, and also I have some other things to show you afterwards, so definitely stay tuned. It's just a short race, so it's not gonna take all that long, because this is from this week, where the Forza GT races are only short, so no pit stop here. But that gives us a lot of time to talk about the car in detail now in the race and also afterwards, and I can show you some other things. You can already see definitely pulling away quite quickly, and it is definitely at least in part due to the car. I mean, the lobby that I'm in is probably not the strongest, so the people behind me maybe aren't as quick of drivers as I had in some other lobbies, but I also have to say Laguna Seca is definitely not my strongest track, so that should somewhat balance itself out. But yeah, I'm definitely pulling away, and that is a lot due to the car as well. So the Audi R8, what is it about? It is sadly one of the cars that is only available for VIP, or it is part of the race day pack, I think. I'm not quite sure. I'll leave that in the description of the video. I actually have to look that up. But it's a car that you don't get if you just bought the standard edition or are on Game Pass. So that is a little bit unfortunate, because the car is definitely strong. At least when it is stock, so not tuned. And that is something that I always have to preface this. I'm comparing in this series the GT cars, or the cars of the GT series, in its stock form. I'm not gonna do any tuning. And I think that is where the Audi really is very, very good. The stock tune is very, very fast, and the handling of it is also quite good. It's not perfect. I think you can make this car more stable with tuning, but I'm not sure if you can make it much faster. Whereas a lot of other cars in the Forza GT series, the stock tunes are maybe not the greatest, and you can definitely make the cars faster. I'm gonna make a video on just basics of tuning, and also how you can just make cars that are under or oversteery more fast or more stable, basically. But that's gonna come in the future. But this car has a stock tune that is very, very well balanced. It is fast, like very fast in terms of acceleration, and also top speed isn't bad, and it handles quite well. It's not perfect, as I said. I think it's a little bit unstable sometimes, just you need to be quite careful. I don't think it's a car for beginners, because you really have to know how you can push the car around, because if you go over the limit just a little bit, it can really bite you. And I'm gonna show you one instance of that after this race, where I didn't really feel that I did push too much, but the car really didn't like what I was doing. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at that after this race. But you can see, if you can manage to drive the car well, so if you can handle the little bit squirmy, little bit oversteery handling that it has, and you can control that, then the car is definitely very fast. And I think, just from my preliminary testing, it's too fast. Even though it's a lot about tuning as well, so that just the stock tune is very good on this car, and maybe you can't improve it all that much. Still, I feel like compared to other cars, this one is quite good. And I would say too good. And I would not be surprised to see some nerfs coming to this car in the future. And if that's just a little bit of a power nerf or just some additional weight put on it so that it's a little bit more competitive with the other cars, as I said, wouldn't be surprised to see that coming in the future. For now, I can clearly say that this is the benchmark car. This is the car where you can just see how you can do, how you can manage to set a lap time and then try to get close in all the other cars. And yeah, we're gonna take a look at that after the race, where I will show you a Rivals Hotlap basically in this car, where I've set a time that's quite decent, I think. It's not amazing, but yeah, we're gonna take a look. And then also gonna show you how the Lamborghini Essenza from the last video performs compared to the Audi in its stock form. And yeah, I think you're gonna be quite surprised how big the difference actually is. But yeah, we are in this race. Let's also talk about that a little bit. Doing fairly well. I think I'm not doing like the best lap times here, but I'm fairly consistent and I am managing to keep the car under control. I'm not over pushing it. I also don't need to, because the cars behind definitely have fallen behind quite far. So yeah, I'm just taking it a little bit easy while still trying to do fast laps. So you can see I did an improvement on this lap of almost half a second, so doing a 124.5. I don't think it's all that bad, but it's also not like the greatest lap. But I think on medium tires it's at least from what I can manage pretty good. And we are already, since this is a short race, in the last lap. As I said, no strategy choices here. It's a little bit sad, I have to say. I really like the little bit longer races, so the medium ones, where you can have some additional strategy because of tire choices and when you pit. I really like that. These short races sometimes can be a little bit boring, I have to say. And this one also was a little bit, because there was not a lot of fighting going on, because I actually really managed to pull away at the start and then just pulled away further. You can see the gap is just increasing and increasing. And yeah, in this lap, a little bit wide here on the exit of that corner. And you're also going to see I'm going to struggle a little bit here in the corkscrew, turn in a little early, go over this bump, and then also get another track cut here, but no penalty this time. But still, even with the 0.6 penalty that I just got, there's just no way I'm going to lose this race unless I make a really big mistake, which luckily I don't. And yeah, this was for once a quite clean race by me, where I managed to do really well. And it's also in part because of the car. But as I said before, the car can definitely be quite difficult to handle if you are more of a beginner driver. So definitely try it out, but also be aware that maybe you're gonna struggle. I'm gonna show you here a clip of another race that I had where I was in third place and going up to the corkscrew, was braking as normal and just, yeah, I thought slowing down enough, but also again, I think hitting the bump there a little bit, and the car just didn't like that at all. And I really, didn't manage to get that done all that well. And then also very, very unsafe rejoin and gets me a penalty. I think that's well deserved, probably should have even been more. But yeah, the car definitely can be very, very tricky to handle. It's not as bad as some of the other cars I've driven. I think the next car I'm going to show you is the Acura NSX, which that definitely was quite a handful. This car is not as bad, but it's also not like super easy to drive, I would say. So we are actually now going to take a look at a hot lap. So I'm in Rivals here, and I have the tune loaded that is stock in multiplayer. I'm going to show you at the end how you can do that, so how you can get the tune from multiplayer into Rivals. But yeah, I'm doing a hot lap at Barcelona. I decided that this is a track that I want to do comparisons on, because it has a lot of different corners. It has some high-speed ones, some low-speed ones. It definitely has a lot of variety. And I think also even Formula 1 uses this track as a test track. So, I mean, if that's not enough reason to do this, then I don't know what is. I felt like from the tracks that are available, it's the best showcase for just a general overview of how a car performs. So you can see, definitely not doing like the best lap here. So I don't know, did like I would say like 15 to 20 laps in this car just to get up to speed and just try it out. And yeah, this was the best lap that I was able to do in that, and I'm gonna try to keep it to around the same lap number for each other car as well, so we have a fair comparison. So I don't wanna have like the super crazy lap in another car that just isn't comparable to this, because as I said, this lap isn't perfect. But I think it's quite good, and it will definitely show that this is fast when I show you the Lamborghini Essenza afterwards. But yeah, you can see here I did a 144.102, so that was the best lap that I was able to do here in the Audi R8 LMS GT3. And I'm now going to show you the car from the last video, that's Lamborghini Essenza. You can already see at the start here, definitely falling behind a little bit, and yeah, then trying to just stay close, trying to get this car around the track as fast as possible. Probably also not the best lap in this car, but I mean the Audi lap was always also not the best one, so I think it's a kind of fair comparison. I would just urge you to not take a look at the like numbers, just the values itself, because I wouldn't say that I'm the best driver, and that also maybe there is some room for improvement on every single car that I drive. That's not the point here, but I'm just trying to show you how different the cars are, at least in their stock tune. It's something I wanna just hit home here. The Audi R8 LMS is just very good in its stock tune. The Lamborghini Essenza, I feel like, is not. I've talked about it in the last video. The gearing is not great, it understeers quite a lot, and I also had some other problems like the missing mirrors. That's like really bad in my opinion. But yeah, just from a driving standpoint, it definitely feels a lot harder to get around the track fast, because it just understeers quite a lot. And it also doesn't have the best acceleration, also because the gearing is kind of weird with the long gears. You have to go down to first gear a lot and stuff like that, and that leads it to, well, fall behind quite significantly. You can see the ghost of the Audi R8 in front is quite far ahead, and well, you're gonna see how far we are behind the Audi R8 once we get over the line, because it's gonna be a 145.621, so 1.5 seconds slower. But let me now just quickly show you how to get the tunes from multiplayer into Rivals. So head into a multiplayer lobby and select the car you want and go to Tune Car. There you will have to open the setup manager. You can find which button that is at the bottom, and that will open this menu where you can just select Save. And once you do that, you will just have to select a free slot, give the thing a name, and just save the tune. You have to have the car leveled enough to have every part unlocked that is necessary. So for some cars maybe you will have to level it a bit to do this, but it should generally work. If you've done that, head into Rivals and again go to Tune Car, the setup manager, and go to My Tunes. There you will be able to find the tune that you just saved in multiplayer, and you can select that and just load it. And you can see I'm just loading the setup. I've called it stock. That's basically the setup that is available in multiplayer if you don't tune the car. So yeah, that's how I was able to get the cars into Rivals and yeah, do a comparison on those, so you can get a comparison in how good they are. Remember to reduce fuel load and select the soft tire, even though I'm not sure if fuel load reduction is really necessary in Rivals. Haven't really figured that out yet. But yeah, that is how we do that, and that is how we can get a little bit of a comparison between the different cars. But I want to reiterate, I'm comparing here between the stock tunes of the cars available in multiplayer. I can already tell you, and I'm gonna show you in a future video where I go over tuning a little bit more, that I was able to extract a lot more time out of this Lambo Essenza when I just did a little bit of tuning. And I think that's like one thing that you can't miss. Yes, the Audi R8 LMS is definitely very strong, and I think it is too strong, but it's not as strong as it seems. It's just that the stock tune of the Audi R8 is very good, and the stock tunes of some of the other cars aren't all that great. And the Lambo is definitely one of the examples where you can do a lot if you tune the car, and you can extract a lot more time out of the car. So yeah, just something to be aware of. Don't take this video as the Audi R8 is the best car and that's the end of it. It is definitely good, and you can definitely do very well with it if you can control the little bit flimsy and oversteery handling of it. Then it's definitely fast. But you can also be fast in other cars, and if you are able to do a little bit of tuning, you can be very, very close to the Audi as well. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope I was able to show you a little bit on the Audi R8 and how it performs, and also showed you a little bit of a comparison between the Lambo that I showed you last time and the Audi. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. I've been HT Racing. See you next time.